everybody, I'm Kirsty Meakin from Nao Nails. In this video we are going to be using the build in the bottle. Oh my god, we're going to do some awesome stuff. Let's get started. So on Annette's hand, not on her feet, we're going to create an extension that's going to come out.
How is that funny?
I just had this vision of me building the bottle extensions on her toes. We're not going to do that. We're going to do them on her hands. I don't know. Maybe I'm in a silly mood. Yeah, so we're gonna bring out and do some little extensions for you. First of all, I'm going to prep. Because can you see the cuticle, how it's like the proximal fold, how it's down her nail?
What did you say there?
Proximal fold.
What is? I've never heard that before.
You've never heard of a proximal fold? Right.
No, you're making words up.
No, it's real, it's real. It exists. So let's think how long that is. So it's like 1 millimetre long. And it's stretching down her nail. It's even bigger on this one. Not so much on that one. And what you can, if you don't sort of push this back, let me just turn this off for a minute. Let me tell you what can happen. So as this stretches down, it stretches this skin here. Yeah? And then you can get little bits of skin snapping back. Kind of like a rubber band. And it starts to snap back. And you see that? I see that on men a lot. On men. Have you got any? I'm sure Adam's nails are perfect, I'm sure.
Two.
But yeah, you can get that. And that's because, you know, they've just not been eased back. Some people's proximal fold, cuticle, naturally get pushed back by day-to-day use of their hands. Clearly, Annette does nothing. Just saying. So I'm gonna, on a slow speed, I'm gonna use this cuticle bit to start to lift and remove any cuticle from the natural nail. So you see how it's lifting the cuticle on that proximal fold up off the nail and just easing it back. Let's have a little dust so you can see it a little bit better. You see how it's lifting up? I'm just getting any of the cuticle off that natural nail. The cuticle and the proximal fold are two different things. Cuticle is that thin bit of skin that you can't always see that sticks to the nail. If you leave that on there, then you will find that you'll have some issues with lifting. So we've lifted it now. See the difference between those two? We've lifted it up, we've created a little bit more room. Then I'm going to use a different bit to go over the proximal fold. So we want to be gentle. Don't we? To be gentle.
I thought pain was beauty was pain.
Well,
like
I think when it comes to aesthetics, like, you know, injections and that, yeah. Not that I would know anything about that. So you can see how I'm just exfoliating that dead skin off the proximal fold, and it kind of pushes it back as well. Anything that you can't get off that is sticking up, you can. You won't always get this, but sometimes you are resorted to just cutting off that white proximal fold. Do not cut any lower than that. So it looks a lot tidier now. We have more of the nail as well. So we're going to do that on all the nails, get them all nice and tidy. Clearly, Net's not had her nails done for a long time. You wouldn't normally have to do all of this work. I've neglected you.
You've neglected me, definitely.
Definitely. So we've done that. We're going to wipe over with gel residue wipe off solution. Just to clean that up. Clean those nails. Oh, they look better already. So now, before I do anything, before I put sculpting forms on or anything like that, I'm going to put the base coat on. So all you need to do is dehydrate. You're not going before your base. You're not going to put on your primer. You don't need your primer.
Why?
Wah. Doesn't require it. Pretty much, basically, what it is, the base coat is basically your primer.
Ah.
Because this is what's going to hold it on.
So why wouldn't you put base coat on before you put acrylic on then?
Because we're doing gel on gel.
Right, but you wouldn't do acrylic on gel.
It'd peel off.
Right, okay.
You can mix the systems when you're doing designs and things like that, but that's like a whole other video. Just want a nice thin layer. Make sure you sort of just sweep around that free edge to cap it. Pop me that in the lamp. So, if you look at Annette's nails, they are not the slimmest nails in the world.
It's all that gymnastics she does now.
It is, it's all that gymnastics.
Give me a
I forgot
second.
about that. The Olympics, yeah.
Now we were saying, oh, what shape? And I said square, maybe like a slightly tapered square. And Annette was like, not round. No, not round. Because we are going to follow the lines of the side walls, which will actually create an illusion that everything is longer and thinner. If we come up here and we make it round, it'll make everything look round and
Bulbous. Yeah. You've got bulbous fingers.
we don't want to do that. If she got little dainty fingers, we could go round. However, that's not the case.
I'm glad I'm not paying for this experience.
So you can always discuss that with your client. Maybe not like I did, just, but like say, oh, I think that a square or tapered square would look really nice on your hands because you've got right chunky fingers. Stuff. Maybe leave that last bit out. Right, so we're gonna fit the sculpting form, and we're going short. You don't need to have like a great big whapping C curve. Pack it in now. Don't tell me that's too tight.
Sorry. That was funny. It was like you had hiccups for a second there.
I'm just cutting that length off then.
Why?
Because we were messing about. Look what I did. And this was all fitted, all right, but that was right squiff. And if I left it on, then it was just going to throw everything else off. And because we're doing a short nail, it was fine to do that.
Would that be good for obviously these ones you can't, they don't have perforations or anything on them, but cutting them for people who like shorter nails, just make it easier for them to wait a while.
You're not going to catch them as much, will you? Yeah. Because you've got the base coat on, you want to make sure that you are not touching that nail. See, that's much better, see. Right, so what we're going to use is Honest Fitting. And we've chose this because it's kind of more natural. There's not a great amount of colour. It's just ever so slightly coloured. And what I'm going to do first of all is, so I take a small amount. And I'm going to brush that on the nail. Nice and thin. Stop bloody having a shake on you. What's up with you?
I don't feel like I'm shaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're going in with the second coat there?
Yeah, so we've got a decent amount on the brush. You're going to place that down. Go side to side. So I've got the cuticle right, and I'm just going to go side to side to side to side to this side and there. I'm going to keep pulling product down to give a little bit of length. I've got a drip coming. You want to float over the product. So you're creating that shape at the end with the brush and the gel floating. I'm just going to pull through the middle a little bit, and then you can turn the hand over if you need it to draw down a little bit, and then we're going to pop it into the lamp. We're going to do them one at a time. So we're going to do one at a time because we're demonstrating 5 fingers for you today, whereas if you were doing a full hand, you would be applying to the other finger at this moment in time while that's in the lamp, and vice versa. Yeah, you can't use the build in the bottle to build out all of the nails and then go in the lamp. It's not like Acrogel. You can do that with Acrogel because it will not move at all, whereas this will move. But you saw how easy that was to put on. We just floated from side to side in the lamp, and then you just be doing the next one in the lamp. And this hand has come out, and then we'll do this one. So you're constantly working, because you can see it's fell a little bit at the side there, see? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the product. I'm just going to show you one completely. I'll show you the application completely on one first, and then we're going to go this way. So we're going to build here, going side to side, and then come back. And then you can just tickle the product into shape, and that's going to give you your thickness that you need, tickling through the middle to draw it up the centre. Like I said, you can always turn the hand over for a second or two and then go into the lamp. While this is curing, it will slowly move, so don't be scared of that. Don't be scared that it moves a little bit, because it's a decent amount of product. It will slightly move. Don't let that concern you. That's why we turned it over as well. Does that hurt?
What hurt?
Burn?
No.
No
Nothing.
burn?
Nothing.
At all?
Nothing.
My God.
Why is it should be?
Amazing. Oh no, lots of gels do, and you might feel like a warm sensation, burning sensation if your nails are thin and damaged. Annette's nails aren't, you know, she's got good nails. Right, so we've got all the product on there. So we're going to do that same process throughout these nails. Thin layer into the bottom, right to the bottom, so it grabs a decent amount of product. Just going to take off some off of the side, so we can see. I'll let that draw back up. So we have like a little pool, and we're going to start here. And then we're going to come side to side, doing a, can you see how I do like a slight curve? Stretch that on to the form. And tickle the sides. Turn your hand over for 2 seconds and then go in the lamp. So again, so if you think that that first coat is sort of laying in your apex, and then this second layer is giving you your length. Yes, we do a little bit of length with that first layer, but this is going to give you the strength for the length. And turn your hand over for a couple of seconds and go in the lamp. Lovely jubbly.
What's the turning over for?
pulls the product down a bit. Like gravity pulls the
Is that what
product
you want
down
to
a bit.
do?
Yeah, so I want to pull it down a bit because I know when it's going to go in, it's going to settle again. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it doesn't bleed as much.
Yeah. You can pinch it a little bit if you need to. You want to do that while it's cooling because it'll be warm when it comes out of the lamp. So you want it to pinch while it's cooling. Pop that in. She's good at this. I tell you what, she's good at this. Go for it. So notice that I have left the thumb till last because of the positioning of the thumb. Because it's on its side, I don't want it to get knocked, and when it goes into the lamp it's got to remain really flat. So you want it to go in like that. Either like that or you're going to go in like that. Okay? So again, we want this thin layer. And we do this because it helps with the flow of product. You can always add a little bit to the form as well, because it will help it flow down. And product on one side of the brush. Get that cuticle area done, and then we're going to swing from side to side. So we're doing the thumb, we need a little bit more product, so straight in the middle there, and then keep swinging from side to side. What I do like to do is, before I take the forms off, I like to wipe over it with the gel residue wipe off solution. It just gets rid of that sticky layer before you've even, you know, got to start taking the form off, and it starts to release the form a little bit as well. So we're taking off the thicker layer. So now when I take this form off, I haven't got this sticky layer all getting on my fingers. So I'm going to just take off the edges off this 180 grit file. So I'm not going to cut. So I'm using just a 180 grit file. Don't need to use anything more abrasive because it's gel, it's easy to file. Some people think they can have one file that does everything. That is not true. You will need different grit files to do different things. So I'm just going to file that into shape. So if you're one of those people that hates filing acrylic because it is a harder product, you'll probably really like to build it in a bottle, because it's so easy to file. So I'm going to buff now. So I'm just going to buff to smooth. And we're just going to take off those sharp corners with the buffer. So we're going to get rid of the dust. It's really important to get rid of that dust. I'm going to wipe over with gel residue wipe off solution. You can see that gives you quite a natural looking nail, because you can still see the nail underneath. It gives you that sort of natural colour at the end. So we're going to top coat now. You could put a gel polish colour on, or you could just put your top coat on if you want it to look really natural. It's entirely up to you. So I'm using the Urban Graffiti top coat. So this is going to give it a nice shine. It's a tack-free top coat. Capping that edge. Pot mirrors on the lamp. I'm going to finish by applying cuticle oil, going underneath as well. They look really natural, don't they? Natural looking builder in the bottle nails. Really easy to do. Great for those people who aren't supposed to wear nails. There you go, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and everything I've used will be listed below. See you later, guys. Bye bye. Right, so, that's all. What you got a twitch for? What's that twitch all about? What's going on?
Is it tight?
Do you need your meds? You got a twitch then. It wasn't you just had this random...
Did I?
Right, little...
That's having a stroke or something.
Let me finish your nails first. And then I'll take your hospital.
Okay.
Oh, sit down next to me. Sit down. I'm gonna wipe over with a boo.